What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are, sitting at about 3 cents now. We did not move down to that, what was it, 2.6, 2.5, 2.7 cent area, whatever. We did hold 2.9 cents, and I hope if anybody remembers my most recent video on XCN, I was saying that as long as we hold 2.9, that we're fine. I want you to understand that while I think this red candle here would constitute as a breakout, you did not get confirmation. It looks like a breakout, but the very next candle, that should have been obvious that this was indeed a fake out. I don't believe, and this actually makes me even believe more so, that we will not go to 2.7 or 2.5 cents like I was suggesting we could do earlier. And I wasn't even suggesting it. I actually made it clear that I don't expect us to move down there. I actually think we're going to move up, and we will hold 2.9 cents, but I'm more addressing it as a, if it happens, don't panic. It's totally fine. It's just a higher low. It would be a normal, healthy, standard kind of volatility, higher low. And it could still happen now. Just because this happened and we had a nice recovery off of it doesn't mean that we can't go lower. But it's rather suggestive to me, at least, that we probably don't. If we look at the 1 hour RSI here, we are in a little bit of a downtrend, a little bit right now. And generally downtrends do, if they start from the overbought zone, they don't stop until you see some kind of oversold reading. Generally. Doesn't mean that it has to happen that way, but generally that's the case, right? You had a downtrend here on the 1 hour, and you did not hit the oversold zone. You actually bounced beforehand. Downtrend here, didn't hit the oversold zone. You got overbought there. I don't know, downtrend here, you definitely hit the oversold zone. It could happen, it might not happen. If we were to see the oversold zone on the 1 hour time frame, to me, there's just no way to avoid the idea that we would see 2.6 to 2.5 cents. Maybe it's more likely than I thought it was. You know, maybe I want to redact that. I'm going to stick with the call that I don't think we go below 2.9 cents. So if it happens, I'm not going to be like, oh, I was right. But I want to address it as a very real possibility. That way, if anybody buys here or feels like panic selling, they don't, right? Or maybe not don't buy here. I think it's a good price to buy. I think that's fine. But don't panic sell if you buy here is what I was trying to say. Okay. If we look at the 4 hour time frame, looking at the 4 hour RSI, this to me looks really bullish, and this is kind of the reason why I would suspect we do move higher, is that we had the downtrend here in the 4 hour, of which we broke out of. We're now finding support on the 50, and I think we want to hit the oversold or the overbought zone. If not, if we roll over from here, we might find support at the 40, get a higher low going here. We might start an uptrend on the 4 hour time frame, something like that. And in which case, maybe today is a red day, and then tomorrow we can try. But I would expect very soon, if not by the end of today, by the end of tomorrow, which today's Thursday, today's Wednesday, so tomorrow would be Thursday. If not by the end of today, by the end of tomorrow, I would suspect that XCN is above 3.1 cents, breaking out of this area, and likely we're going to see targets around 4 cents or higher, resuming this uptrend, hopefully resuming this uptrend, right? If we look at what we've done before, though, maybe on a daily basis, right? Come on now. You know, here we consolidated, what was that, from December to the middle of January. That was December 4th to January 15th. So that was about a month and 10 days, a month and 2 weeks, whatever you want to say. Here we're consolidating. It's been since January 26th, and it's only February 5th. So it's been, what, that's 10 days in itself. I'm not saying that we're going to consolidate for a whole nother month, because that was about a month and 2 weeks there. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. I'm just more saying that we could consolidate for a longer amount of time. So if by the end of this week, right, and this week ends in 4 days and 19 hours, if by the end of this week we're not breaking out, it's still fine. XCN, you guys, it's going to the targets that we've been talking about for the last week, since before we were at these highs, and even when we were at these highs, it's going to the same place. If it doesn't happen now, don't get impatient. Just be patient and wait, and it will pay off. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I very much do believe XCN has more to go. To me, it's not the most strange area to stop at, but it's kind of a strange area to stop at when you think about it. We're stopping at maybe the ICO, the initial coin offering price, whenever it was first listed, and maybe that's a reason for it. But if we look back at our historical price action, other than that, there's really no significance in this level. The next area of significance to me, at a bare minimum, would be at 6.3 cents, or most likely something that would be above. Come on, that's not what I was trying to do. something above 8 cents, right? And oftentimes, if you're breaking back into a zone, okay, and if we were to call this, kind of a zone here, right, where you're consolidating before you move down, oftentimes when you break into a zone, you go to the top of that zone. So if we were to do that, that would put us at about something around 11 cents, maybe something around 10 cents, right? This is just off of the price action itself, not even using other indicators. If we were to use other indicators, if we were to use the Fibonacci retracement tool from the all-time high here to the all-time low that we have broken above the golden ratio. We're even finding support off of the golden ratio. I would have no problem if this was any chart I had no knowledge of it at all, but I just saw this on the fibs. I'd have no problem calling for the 786 to the 886 area, and I would really have no problem calling for a move that even takes you up to your 100 area and above. Oftentimes, whenever you see this kind of bullish behavior where you tear through the golden ratio and you pull back to the 618, you oftentimes don't actually stop in this area, and you do exceed either to the 100 or beyond. I'm not saying that XCN is going to make a beeline to 82 or 83 cents. It could happen, but that'd be crazy. I mean, what would that do? If that happens, man, I'm selling all of my XCN. If that happens, that'd be like a 35x, a 36x in the course of like a month or two, month and a half, 2 months. That'd just be nuts. I don't expect that to happen, but certainly something that's at this 886 or higher. Normally, I would expect that you find resistance here, but again, with the bullish foreshadowing that you have here, the bullish kind of premonitions, breaking above the golden ratio, pulling back for support, I wouldn't think that you stop here. I would think that you at least stop at the 886, if not higher. In these moments, I think it's totally acceptable to consider that we could go to the all-time high, which is at about 18.27 cents. As far as what to do, is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? I'm not your financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, right? But I think it's at a fair time to buy. You have the potential to move up to 18 cents, maybe even more than that in the next month and a half. You're at 3 cents now. I mean, that's a 6x right there, man. Is it a good time to sell? If you bought down here, sure, it's a good time to sell. If you bought up here, no, it's not a good time to sell. Where would a good place to sell? And that's not financial advice. It's just my opinion. I feel like that's very abundantly clear. If we look at the low here, actually, you found support right at this previous high. It's perfect, right? It's perfect. The market makers, I swear, man, the market makers for XCN, they have no imagination at all. It's so concise. It's so perfect. It's literally, they heard me talking about them because I mentioned that the highs of the days were at rounded numbers and they weren't at these obscure numbers. And ever since then, we've had these obscure numbers on the closing points or at the highs. But even then, they still show their lack of creativity by finding some support, pinpoint specifically at this previous area of resistance here. That means during the stump, whether they were prepared for it or not, and I think they were prepared for it, they had a massive buy wall that would not let the price go back down. And of course, we had an enormous bounce from there. I don't believe that we're going to move lower. If we move lower from here, okay, maybe we're at 3 cents now. Maybe we move down to 2.5 cents, 2.6 cents. But again, I don't think that's going to happen just based off of the 4 hour. I give it more of a acknowledgement that it could happen because of the 1 hour. The 1 hour time frame being in this downtrend, it does make me think that you could persist until you hit the oversold zone. And if you were to see something like that, I absolutely would believe that you break below 2.9 cents. If you break below 2.9 cents, remember that's the requirement for seeing targets that are at 2.7 to 2.5 cents. Okay, but this could also be looked at as a bull flag here. I mean, if we're on the 4 hour basis, maybe a 4 hour basis, maybe it's more apparent on a 2 hour basis or a 1 hour. I don't know. Kind of a move. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Move up, and then you're flagging out like this, very high and tight. I would think that you continue to move up. Oftentimes, moves like this, you do move up. You don't see this breakdown, but it can happen. It could happen. And at that point, it'd still be a higher low anyways. If and when we do move out of here, I would suspect that it would be a very similar move to the move that brought us in here. I'm not going to take it from the actual low. I'm just going to take it from the low close to the high close, okay? And this way we get a conservative approximation. From where we break out from the low point here, I'm going to take it from the low close again right there. That'd be a move all the way up to 4.5 cents, okay? And rather, like if we were to break out, that'd be in a short amount of time. And if we were to break out today, likely we would see these prices by the end of today. If not sometime tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did. And a move like that getting above all the price action that's in this consolidation phase. Essentially, at that point, there's nothing stopping us from new relative highs, and I very much believe that those new relative highs will come in the form of prices that are anywhere from just over 9 cents to 10 cents, or as potentially as high as 18 cents. We do have targets that are higher than that as well. It's completely possible it could go higher than that, but let's keep our feet on the ground at the moment. We'll see how it looks going forward. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. Let's look at the ribbon real quick. We can finish it off with the ribbon here. MA exponential ribbon. Yeah. So the 1 hour is not what we want. The 4 hour is what we want. It looks bullish. This actually, the 4 hour ribbon is another reason why I would think we don't go lower. Oh, to be fair though, actually, you look at the 4 hour here. It did close below the yellow. Closing below the yellow, it's not a good thing. We would need this 4 hour in the next 2 hours and 52 minutes to close green. So I'll tell you what, by the time most of you watch this, actually a lot of you watch it really quick, so maybe not. Check for this 4 hour close. I don't care what time you watch this, right? It's the second candle of the day, I believe. Yeah, the second 4 hour candle of this, the 5th of February. If this candle closes red, and we haven't seen 2.5 cents to 2.7 cents yet, I would believe we're going down to 2.5 to 2.7 cents. But perhaps by the time this candle closes, we've already been down there and we come back up, okay? But if this candle closes red, I would think we do see, I would very much believe we do see 2.7 to 2.5 cents. If it closes green, if we can get back above this yellow line, we're likely going to move up. We're breaking out today or maybe tomorrow. And we will see prices at 4.5 cents in a very short amount of time, and then continue our voyage all the way up to 10 cents and beyond is what I think. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I turned my voice down because I just heard my daughter whine. She cried a little bit. I don't want to have to go soothe her, right? I'd rather just sit here and make videos. So take it easy, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.